Well, here we go again. Whew, a clammy day, innit? My gosh, difficulty sleeping last night. I don't know how, but he was heavy anyhow. But at least he's dry. That's one good thing. I hope everybody's all right. Had a nice weekend. So, anyway, I only got there's two birthdays today. There's Steve Garney today. Is his birthday day. Happy birthday to you, boy. And another one is a dear friend of ours, Liz Dunn. Is her birthday. Now, on Sunday gone, yesterday, was Paul Rascola. So, happy birthday to you as well. So, um, just take care and keep smiling and you'll be all right. Anyhow, I'm going to do one day by Herbert Lane called At Home. Oh, shut us home the door, Richard Henry, said Feather, and we'll have a nice quiet evening to ourselves. I've been out long, I've been out coosing along with Sire Trenier, and I'm feeling cold as a quilkin. Got an answer for everybody, you have. Only yesterday a stranger passed up long and said, "What beastly weather! Do you always have weather down here?" Well, said Sire, "'tis like this here, sir. Been like it ever since up country people been coming down here." "Looks as if 'tis going rain again," says mother, looking out the window. "I should think 'twas May month." "I hope it don't," remarked Richard Henry, "'cause I want to water the garden." "Garden ain't looking up much. What's the matter with your piece, Richard Henry?" "Oh, slugs ate everything, they do. Last night I asked the man to work up Squire Vivian's what's best to do about it, and he said, 'Put down salt among the rows.' Well, I did that, and when I got up this morning, the slugs was up on their hind legs, dipping the radishes in the salt and eating them." "What have you got baking, mother? 'Tis smelling some handsome. All got a nice bit of teddy cake, and I hope nobody will show their nose inside this house for the night." "I haven't seen no smoke coming out the chimney next door. She's going out for sure. I can't bite she can't call her house your own. I'm here borrowing she is, and never bring nothing back. Yesterday I went in there for a frying pan, and when I looked round I felt more at home than I do in my own house. If she'd have come in, I'm going bed." Knock at the door. "Come in," shouted Feather. Doors on the latch, and in walked the Never. "Hello, Mrs. Jem," says mother. "Come us in. I'm glad to see. Take us off your hat. We was then talking about 'ee." "I aren't going to stay," she replied as she took off her hat and drew up a chair before the fire. "What was he saying about me?" "Oh, we got Teddy cake for tea," said Richard Henry, "and mother said, 'Hope nobody don't come in. Little boys should be seen and not heard.' Well, somebody said it, and if you didn't, must have been the parrot." "Parrot? I didn't know you had a parrot." "Yes, Mrs.'s brother just come home from foreign parts abroad and brought one home. Beauty he is too, and when he talk. Bring it out, Richard Henry. We to keep him under the spence by night." "Oh, what a lovely parrot! I always thought I should love to have a parrot. You went when you hear him talk." "Where's our frying pan?" screamed the parrot. "And that pint jug? Mrs. Jam's got them. How can she buy her own?" "I think I'll be going," she said as she got up from her chair. "I didn't come in to be insulted. You know you're welcome to anything I got. Where's my hat?" "Set us down," says mother. "Don't take no notice of 'ee. You ought to hear him swear. Do it good when you're feeling mazed." "Do you know that little man that live up Churchtown, that to live in Aunt Grace's house, and to stammer awful?" asked Feather. "Yes," replied Miss Sim. "Yes, fee I do," as he sat down again. "Well, he was here day or two ago, and it was brave for an half an hour for I could make out what he was trying to say. Wanted to buy the parrot, he did." "Talk, talk, 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 canna?" asked the little man. "Better than these coast," I said to him as I put on my hat and went out. "Get him back, Feather. I want to see the hubben. Wind back, wind back been the wrong way all day. Nearly tis shore, nearly ready tis shore. Sure you went out, stop and have some, Mrs. James?" "Well, since you was are so pressing, I will. But I promised to go down to Aunt Liz's night. How is she, poor soul?" "Oh, can't sleep at night." "Can't sleep? How's that?" "I could sleep on a furze bush." "Well, you know her brother that has just died and left her 3 houses. Now she's up all night abusing them 'cause he didn't have them painted afore he went." "Are we going to wait until Mrs. James is gone afore we have tea?" asked Richard Henry. "Certainly not," said mother. "Draw up the table, all of 'ee." "Where is my frying pan? I bet he's next door," screamed the parrot. Richard Henry put under the spence again, and he will put an all white sheet cover over 'un. "I'm covered up like Tobias," croaked the parrot. "Nice bit of cake," remarked Mrs. James. "I fancy I could eat a bit more." "Well, you won't have 'em," said Richard Henry. "You have one piece more'n me now." I must give mother credit for being able to bake such a nice piece of cake. Man down the shop said he didn't give anybody any more credit. I wouldn't go in that shop again if I could help it, said Mrs. James. He had two lots of currants in the window, one marked for sixpence per pound and the other eightpence. I couldn't see no difference, and when I asked him what the difference, he said twopence. Some dear he is too. Last payday I wanted to know how the candles was gone up. It's owing to the war, he replied. I wanted to know how couldn't they fight it by daylight. Laughed he did. I don't mind being done down, but I aren't going to be laughed at. He isn't bad for putting any notice in the window. Yesterday he had one saying a second-hand and invalid chair for sale. Suit an elderly lady without worms. 'Tis time for little boys to be in bed. Come on, Richard Henry, and mind you say your prayers. Can I take the parrot up bed with me? You can say them better than I can. No, you can't. So there. Richard Henry grabbed the last piece of cake and bolted. Have you heard about Tom Tiddlywink? No, what is it? Well, you know his mother didn't want for him to get married, wanted to keep him in as long as she to live. Well, last night he was out in the outhouse searching around after dark. Mother heard him, and she did, and asked him what he wanted. Where's the lantern? Lantern, she said. I know you're going courting. I never had no lantern when I was courting. I shouldn't think you did when I look upon father. There we are. Hope everybody have a nice week. Just take care.